Hello, this is Tracy Armstrong. I want to take a moment and walk you through the Barrier Buster app. I'm excited that you're taking this opportunity to break into another level. When you open up the app on the first time, it's going to take you through a couple of questions. First would be if we can have access to your calendar, if we can have access to notify you. Those simple questions that will take you through a few welcome pages, and then on the third page there's a little button on the bottom that says let's go. Just push that button, and then it will bring you to the page that we're looking at right now, which is the assessment page. The assessment page is for you to set assessments of what you want to work on. I just randomly pushed them. I pushed earlier, I pushed, yes, I want next level coaching. At that point, it sends a communication to our office, and will let us know that one of the clients using the app would like to have some next level coaching, and then one of our coaches would get a hold of you, and then we push the arrow to go to the next page. This assessment will be used to set focus for the next 90 days. Now, what you're doing is going back here. What you're doing when you move these markers is you're really gauging your current satisfaction and your desire for improvement in these areas of your life: family, recreation, emotional health, spiritual health, financial health, professional well-being, personal life, and your physical health. So what you want to do is you want to go through and gauge these according to where you are, your level of satisfaction. 0 being the lowest level of satisfaction, which means we would want to work on that area. You notice the colors change here as you go up from 0 to 4. It's really red, then it starts to become an orange, and then somewhere around 8 it becomes green, and then that's good. So these are your kind of color coordination. And Barrier Buster, what it will do is you're making this assessment, and the goal for assessment is just to get clear focus of where your satisfaction levels are, and we're going to spend the next 90 days working on that. Now, the really important part of this app is that you spend 90 days with it every day, just opening it, and I'll show you which pages are the most important to go to. But the realization is, if you're going to have success, you have to do something every single day. You have to do it every day, even if it's just a small portion of it. If you open up the app and just see your focus again, as you'll see the pages unfold. Now, all of these tools that I'm going to take you through today, they've been functioning tools in the coaching world, and what I've used also with clients. And so I would say that there is really a lot of proven, it has a proven track record to work. And so I want to encourage you, if you are really determined to succeed and really determined to go to your next level, use this app. Use it every day. It may not replace your calendar. It may not replace other things. Just bring it alongside with what you already have, and just use it in the way that it's meant to be used, in which is to break through limitations and barriers, remove lids, and you'll go to your next level. So after you've kind of laid out your focus and your discovery of what you want to focus on, the next thing, you push the arrow on the top right there, that you have chosen you've chosen the things that you want. And so, and that you're committed to these areas for the next 90 days. So you push yes. Next 90 days, I'm committed to it. In the next 90 days, we're going to spend focusing on your finances, your professional health, and your spiritual health. And now that is all based upon the lower level ones. And so, yes, we're going to do that. Then, if you ever have any questions of what these are, just the little question marks there will show you in more detail of what they are. So then you can go to the next area. The next area is, now let's build strategy for the top 3 areas of improvement. So the top 3 areas of improvement are immediately removed over. And what you're going to do in this is you're going to set reminders. Often we forget why we're working on these areas, and so you chose these 3 areas to be low for a reason. And so you want to make sure you write in these 3 areas what these reasons are. So financial, why do you want to increase your financial status? I'm just going to put some silly ones. I want more money. Yeah, let's put some silly ones here. Then you push done. Your professional health. Want to look cool. Now, of course, you want to give more thought, more attention to these, but just for the walkthrough, I don't want to make it an all-day walkthrough trying to think of good things to say. So I'm just going to put these out, and of course, you can see examples just a little lighter in the gray there. Spiritual. I want to grow spiritually because I want to contribute. All right, so we're done with these. Then you push the arrow on the top and just move it over to the right again. And then it says you set these goals. You've already listed your why. That's why you're at this page. What are some of the goals that you want to achieve in this financial? So keep track of so you're going to set some goals. Keep track of your spending. Let's do that as a daily. And daily are things that I'm going to do every day. And you want Barry Buster to check you every day on it. Weekly are things that you want Barry Buster to ask you at the end of the week. And so we're going to make this a daily. We're going to give 10% to the House of Worship or charity. We're going to make that a weekly check, and then we can move on. And then at the bottom, you can add custom ones that you want. And you'll do that on each one of these. So professional, we're going to plan to write a business plan. We're going to work on that every day. I want Barry Buster to help us to do that. Then spiritually, we're going to read Holy Scriptures daily, and we're going to give to the poor. And let's do that on a weekly basis. Then again, we can add custom if we want to. As we're finished those off, we'll just push the little X on the top right. Confirmation. Do you want this to save these as your goals? Yes. Then you'll go to the next place, which are your goals. You'll see them in place here. These are the things that you've chosen to do. You're going to work on those in a consistent manner, daily if they are set daily, and weekly if they're set weekly. Then you have this reminder, which is, why do you want financial health? Now, anytime you are challenged, you don't know why you're doing this, and 60 days in, you want to go back to the reminder and just remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. Then you go to the next, you push the little top arrow on the right. Then it brings you to the page that you're really going to work from every day. This is where you're going to go. So you're keeping track of your spending, your objectives, and in any time you've done that, okay, that's great. I'm done with that. I finished that. Then you check it off, and that's the same with the weekly goals. And so weekly goals will appear on the weekend. Then you have your habits. Habits, we'll set those in a moment, but you're going to be making and breaking habits. One of the keys to your success is that you make and break habit. And so we want to help you do that. Then you have notes. Notes is one of my favorite places. Just because breaking a fear or concentrating on a fear that you're overcoming is a barrier. That's very important. So you set your fears here. Overcome fear of snakes. Don't have that, but you can add that to your today. I'm going to break that. I'm going to overcome that. I'm going to handle snakes, whatever it may be. You're going to make sure that you put that in there. Then personal affirmation. Here I like the one that's there. I am enough. And so enough. I want to add that one in, and then it's going to ask me about a reminder. So the key is I'm going to say it in the morning. I'm enough. I'm going to say it with passion. But then in the evening or in the afternoon, at some time when I know I usually feel that lull, I want to make sure that I have this thing that alarms me. And it just comes up. It's going to come up at 4:04, and it's going to remind me. Yes, add to my daily affirmation. It's going to remind me at 4:04 that this is going to come up. It's going to say I am enough. It's going to come across the screen, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to affirm I am enough. Now you can do a full list of affirmations, or you can do a single one. The other thing I like about notes here, it also helps me keep track of who I need to contact today. So you can go into your contacts. It will populate there the contacts that you want to make sure that you call and contact today. Now for the time management, which is really personal self-management, you want to make sure that you know how to manage your time, or really manage yourself within time. So in doing so, we have three categories that you want to spend your time in. Now again, every day this is going to open to this space right here. It's going to open to this time management space when you open up the app, and you want to start off with the things that are high important and high urgency. High important, high urgency. If you push on this little question mark there, it tells you what these things are. These are things that you have to do and things that you must do every day and you must get done. You can't delegate these. You can't put these off. These things have to be done. So this helps break down your day in such a way that you that literally allows you to focus on what is important at the moment. And if something can be put off, then you can put it off for another day. But if something is extremely important and only you can do it, then that's what you're going to do in this high important, high urgency. And the second category, which would be just the same, you can fill in one thing at a time. It's like this: high importance, low urgency. These are things that are important, meaning I have to do it, but I don't need to get it done this week or today. So I can put shopping. I'll just put shopping in here. It's important. I need to get it done. I'm going to do it, but I don't need to get it done today. So if you notice that these items will come up with checklists, so whenever one's finished, you just check it off. And this helps you throughout the day have a checklist. If you're a checklist person, everyone should have some form of a checklist, live off of some form of organized thought process of the day. So this helps you organize your thoughts. What's important, meaning you have to do it, and then what's important to be done today, right now, it demands my attention today. Then what's high importance for me to do it, but it doesn't demand my attention today. Then the last category here, which is this for me was a huge saver. It's a low importance and low urgency, meaning it needs to be done, but it doesn't need to be done by me. I can delegate these out. And it doesn't need to be done today, so I can delegate it to someone who can do it over a process of time, possibly, or maybe they have time to get it done today, but it's just not important enough for me to do it. And again, you want to just fill those things in, save it. If you ever have a question of what this section is, you just push the question mark, and there you are with this. So this time management is going to open up. So you have these quotes that come up every day. You want to make sure that you just look at those quotes. They're just there for you. To be encouraged, and so there's a quote that's going to come up every day. So the next thing we'll do, you can also go back and look at your calendar. So if you set up a calendar yesterday, you can go back and look what you did, what you didn't do. Your calendar will be there. Then on the bottom here, you see the little journal icon. And that's what journals are very important to have, and so we created a little journal for you in this, and this is what I call the victory journal. The goal is to keep the victories of the day. You may have a bad day, very challenging day, but the victory journal is there for you so that at the end of the day, you at least pick one thing that is that you have victory in. And it could be that, man, when I was in that meeting, it was a challenging meeting, but I really kept my attitude positive. You need to celebrate that. And so you're going to add to your victory journal. Victory journals are great. Today, what was today's challenge? And what you can set it as in the morning. Today's challenge will be this, or you can set it at the end of the day. End of the day, this was my challenge today. One benefit you gain from today's challenge. Well, today's challenge, I learned that I could win. I could overcome. Then what's the possible solution for today's challenge? Is there a better way to handle it? Yeah, I could have handled it a little bit differently. I could have woke up earlier. Then at the bottom, you want to make sure that you put the victory that occurred today. Victory journal is about what you received out of today that was victorious. So you use this and you'll grow. You'll grow every day. So you'll have challenging days, but the victory journal is for challenging days. I use the victory journal for my clients and personally. Anytime that I feel like things are just getting a hold of me and I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed or I'm getting beat down, this is when I use the victory journal. And this is why we put it in the app. As you can tell, we put a lot of thought in the app. It could be overwhelming, but I'm taking you through this tutorial just because there is so many opportunities to break barriers in this. And so you'll do it and you'll win. The next thing it really wants me to put in the victories before, as you notice, I pushed a check and it wouldn't let me save the victory journal until I actually put some entries here. So I'm going to bypass the victory journal right now. I can do that just by going to the bottom icon, and I'm just going to push on habits. So habits are the thing that we're here to break. We break habits and we make habits. And it used to be that you would spend, you were told that you'd spend 21 days to make and break a habit. I would say it's more like 60 days for the transition to happen in you, body, soul, and spirit. So you want to make sure you do that. That's why we have it set up for 90 days. The breaking and the making of the habits, the setting of the focus, the setting of the goals, and all of the things that you've assessed that you want to have change in. So in order to break a habit, you want to start off with the things you want to break. You want to open up, and what I literally did is I just pushed on the break the habit, the little red square with the guy breaking through the papers. I want to break the habit. It says, what habit do you want to break? You can write down. This one says smoking. What habit will you replace the habit with? I'll replace it with chewing gum. Now set a trigger. Set a trigger that will remind you to stop practicing the negative habit and replace it with the new habit. And so when you feel nervous is going to be your trigger. So you're going to have to set that. When I feel something, your trigger is always what you feel. So when I feel something, when I feel this, I'm going to do this. That's the trigger you want to set. Normally when you felt that, you would go and have a cigarette, or you would go and have a drink, or you would go and yell, or you go and kick your cat, whatever your response was. Now you're going to change that response and you're going to set it. So the feeling will be the same. You're going to learn to control the feeling and the appetites that come after the feeling usually comes. That feeling is the trigger, triggers a certain response. And so we're going to change that response by writing a new response in. And so that it's going to be chewing gum. When you feel nervous, you're going to have some chewing gum in your pocket. You're going to chew gum. That's the habit breaker. And the reason we set a trigger is because you have to have something positive in your breaking of the habit as well. So we're going to also make habits here. We're going to press here to make a habit. And so this habit is going to be set. And again, over 20 days, I'd say, it's going to take 60 days to really push through it, break through it. We've all set habits that we want to break for 21 days and make for 21 days, and somehow they slip away. But the longer you sustain that habit, the longer it's written into your mind, it's written into your nervous system, the more likely that habit will never be broken again. All right, so here you want to add a positive habit, and this is a simpler process because you're going to just set the habit you want, and you're going to begin to focus on that, and you will again be reminded of what all these choices that you've made at the time management place. So you'll have here listed all of the habits, and you'll have listed the habits that you're breaking, the habits that you're making. I'll go again with little check marks like the previous. So this is the time to break some barriers. If you go in this little top menu here, the 4 boxes, it'll bring you to another menu, which this menu is going to expand. We have some things that are coming out in the second version of this. There's some rewards for achievement, rewards for consistency. There's going to be some free offers that are going to be given. So I'm excited about that. So you can select your camera gallery, and you can share your video. testimony. Just a 1-minute testimony is what we suggest, maybe a couple minutes, and just talk about where you are, what you've done, where you're going, and then you can turn and share it. I have to select a video, but you can share it to your social media, which would be Facebook or Twitter, something like that. Then you have daily quotes. If you want to go back and find the quotes, they're there. Settings, that's your Sunday and Saturday. What when you want your weekend action, you want it to be set for Saturday or Sunday. The About Us breaks down a little bit more of what I'm just covering here in the tutorial, the walkthrough. But give us feedback. We want to know how we can serve you better. And so hopefully this has helped. Hopefully this has taken away any confusion. If there's anything that I can do or any of our team can do to make the app better for you, or we can improve on the tutorial, the walkthrough, please let us know. Happy busting barriers.